Hi all. In this we are going to talk about the allocation methods which is present in operating systems. Let's see. So in this allocation methods we have seen one of the allocation which is indexed allocation. Uses an index block to keep track of all the blocks allocated to a file. The index block contains pointers to the data blocks, allowing direct access. Pros and cons: direct access to blocks and efficient for random access. Cons: overhead of maintaining index blocks. Free space management. Bitmaps. A bitmap or bit vector is used to represent free and allocated blocks. Each bit corresponds to a block. A bit value of 0 indicates a free block, while 1 indicates an allocated block. Pros and cons. Efficient for small to medium sized file system. Cons: can be inefficient for very large file systems due to the size of the bitmap. Free list. A linked list of free blocks is maintained. Each entry in the list points to a free block, and the list is updated as blocks are allocated and free. Pros and cons. Suitable for large file systems with frequent allocations and deallocations. Cons: managing the free list can add overhead. Grouping. Groups of free blocks are managed together as single entry points to a group of free blocks, and within each group, free blocks are linked together. Pros. Reduces overhead compared to a free list. Cons: more complex to implement. Counting. Keeps track of contiguous free blocks by counting the number of free blocks starting from a given block. Pros and cons. Efficient for system with large contiguous block of free space. Cons: can be inefficient for system with fragmented free space. File sharing mechanisms. File system provide various mechanisms to share file between users and systems. These include symbolic links, hard links, and network file systems. Symbolic links: a special file that points to another file or direct. Allows files to be accessed from multiple locations. Hard links: direct pointers to the data on the disk, making the same file accessible from different locations without duplicating the data. And this is the example of file system. We can access the one system of the files from the another system without making any duplicate data. We can access the another system of another files of another system of the file. So what are the policies for file sharings? File sharing policies determine how files can be accessed by different users. Common policies include read-only, read-write, and execute permissions. User and group based permissions. We have already seen about the group users, and what are all the group users out there? User, owner, group, and user. Owner is the file which can be created by that particular person, so he can able to read, write, or execute, and group can only read and execute, and the user, final user, can only read that particular file. So here permissions can be set based on user roles and group memberships, facilitating collaborative work while maintaining security. Access control file permission. Permissions determine who can read, write, execute a file. These permissions are typically set for the file owner, group, and others. We have already seen access control list, which means group users. File owner is the can access the read, write, and execute. Group can access read and write operations, and others can access read only operations. So this is the operations. Read, permissions to read the contents of the file. Write, permissions to modify the file. Execute, permission to run the file as a program. So these are all the operations which is present in the file system implementation, we have already seen that.